We start tonight at 6 with a huge shakeup to a decades-old problem meant to help minority and women-owned businesses win state contracts. Indiana's Attorney General says it's unconstitutional. Governor Braun agrees and announced today he's ending the program. Our 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker tonight on all sides of this debate.
When it comes to which businesses Indiana should award contracts to, Governor Mike Braun announced Wednesday race and sex will no longer be considered.
We're just doing what constitutionally, what the Supreme Court said we needed to do.
The governor's referring to a 2023 decision by the U.S. Supreme Court that said race could no longer be a factor in college admissions. Because of that, Indiana's Attorney General says a law put in place in the early 80s dealing with state contracts is unconstitutional. Under the law, Indiana is required to award a certain percentage of its state contracts to minority and women-owned businesses. When it was put in place, lawmakers said studies showed disparities in the number of state contracts that those businesses were receiving. That's not how Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita sees it.
The government put its thumb on the scale against any business not owned by someone in the state's favored racial or gender categories. This wasn't just special treatment. It was discrimination.
That's part of the legal opinion Rokita gave Governor Braun, advising him this law didn't need to be enforced because he believes it's unconstitutional. Both the Attorney General and the governor acknowledged there were no complaints from businesses that felt they'd been discriminated against because of the law.
The first thing that I said was, welcome to the Indianapolis for Indiana Black Expo. It's the governor's gift to you to say you don't matter.
Democratic lawmakers reacted to the governor's announcement, questioning his decision to stop enforcing a law they say established goals to make sure minority and women-owned businesses had a fair shot.
If you believe there was no racism in the 80s and that it's gone completely now, although it never was, you're in fantasy land.
Wednesday's announcement comes as Governor Braun continues to reshape state policy around DEI, arguing opportunity should be based on merit, excellence, and innovation, or MEI, rather than race or gender. It also comes a day after the governor joined the Indiana Black Expo to celebrate Black and minority-owned businesses as part of its summer celebration. The president and CEO of the Indianapolis Urban League called the governor's decision a crossroads and challenged Braun to define what he means by MEI.
What is the definition? What are the terms? What are the quantifiable measures of what that means for businesses as we move forward?
As for what comes next, the governor says current contracts will be honored. As for legal challenges that could arise because of the change, the Attorney General isn't worried.
We'll win this one. It's easy.
At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Now, Indiana Democrats are also responding to the governor's decision. State Senator Shelley Yoder says in the governor's hands, quote, merit is a euphemism for preserving the status quo, closing doors on entrepreneurs who have historically been excluded while protecting access for people already connected to power. That is not a level playing field. It is a double standard. All right, new tonight, a data center on the east side of Indianapolis is now officially approved. The Metropolitan Development Commission gave the final sign-off today on plans for the DC Blocks project in Irvington. We'll give you a look at the renderings for this development. This is along Fintail Drive near Pennsy Trail. The company did make a few changes and commitments during today's meeting. Eastside Community Action Group is now raising money for a lawyer, though, so they can appeal the decision. Our Alex Almanza will have more details on what comes next for the project and reaction from today's meeting tonight at 11. For many of us, paying the electric bill feels like a daunting task, especially for AES customers who now have a rate increase. Well, today, the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission outlined more than a dozen steps to help change that. Our Samantha Johnson breaks it down.
So here it is, 10 pages, 16 steps to hopefully help lower bills and make it easier to understand them. And it all starts with 2 investigations, one into how much profit these utility companies are bringing in, and 2 into the trackers they use to adjust prices. Governor Braun and the Citizens Action Coalition applaud the plans. Some Indiana Democrats argue, though, it's too little too late. Hoosiers are already feeling that heat, and AES customers are seeing that in writing this month. A rate increase approved at the state level earlier this summer is now in effect. And today we asked the chairman of the IURC if he will reconsider the AES rate hike as requested by Governor Braun.
A motion was filed. The utilities will have a response to respond in writing to those legal arguments. The petitioning parties will have the opportunity to reply to that, and the commission has 60 days to act. It could either approve the motion, deny the motion, or reopen the record.
Swinger calling all of this a complicated puzzle between the utilities and advocacy groups and lawmakers. He says he hopes to wrap up the investigations by the end of this year. You can read Wednesday's report on our website right now. We've got it linked for you at WTHR.com. In downtown Indianapolis, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Today is the second day of our heat wave, second heat wave of the summer. You might have noticed the skies a little hazy or a little milky at times. You can see a little bit of that in Bloomington. Smoke from wildfires across parts of Canada filtered its way down into parts of central Indiana. We'll take you into Hamilton County, a view in Carmel. Temperatures right now, upper 80s and low 90s for most. 91 in Columbus, 91 in Indianapolis and Lafayette, and 90 degrees in Kokomo. Our fever back at home tonight. If you're coming downtown, upper 80s and low 90s, hot and humid for that 8 o'clock tip. A heat advisory continues for the next couple of hours, and we remain under a heat advisory for some tomorrow. On the edge of the heat, still tracking some showers and storms, and this moisture down to our southwest will have an impact. I'll cover that in the full forecast.
All right, we'll see you then, Angela. Thank you. Tonight, a man is in jail accused of hitting and killing a woman downtown over the weekend. That hit and run happened Saturday morning at Pennsylvania and Maryland streets. Our Ashton Hackman explains how police tracked down their suspect.
Police say this investigation came together piece by piece, from security video and witness statements to pieces of the car left at the crash scene, and ultimately the vehicle police say that was responsible.
26-year-old Brianna Evans was riding an e-scooter when she was hit in the crosswalk. The driver kept going, but pieces of the car stayed behind. Witnesses described a gray Dodge Challenger. The debris helped confirm it. Detectives later found the Challenger under a tarp at a home the suspect was at. Court docs allege the car parts left at the scene matched the damage.
We need people to tell our detectives what happened. Those leads are critical, especially in the early stages of an investigation. All of that played a role in the quickness and in how quickly we were able to arrest this offender.
The suspect is being held in jail without bond until an initial hearing. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office is weighing official charges. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
A special prosecutor is calling for the arrest of the Johnson County coroner. Mike Pruitt is accused of violating a no-contact order in his criminal case. He's facing several charges after a 17-year-old girl's family said he stalked her, sent her unwanted text messages, and gave her alcohol. Well, now a special prosecutor says Pruitt broke a no-contact order after he allegedly FaceTimed a group chat with the girl. Pruitt then sent a message saying it was a butt dial. The hearing on this set for next month. Pruitt is ordered to appear in person.
Hot and humid for the next couple of days, and rain chances return. I'll have a look ahead in the 7-day.
Plus, helping people experiencing homelessness. The new numbers out tonight, and the work still being done to tackle this issue.